Boy, toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Big dope, selling money.
I remember the day that the music video for this song dropped. I definitely didn't watch the music video for the song, as Nicki created possibly the best soft porn music video ever. But never mind all that, as this is a new day, and I'm here to review songs. This song itself has so many elements in it that annoy me. The Sir Mix-a-Lot sample is very pretentious, as it's used in a way to constantly remind you that Nicki has a big badonkadonk. Now I know that this is what the song is about, and I understand that this is necessary, but it irks me. As for Nicki's vocals, the only thing I can stomach is her rap verses. The concept of this track involves Nicki telling stories about rendezvous she's had with two guys. The first guy is a drug dealer that buys her nice things, and the second guy is a country boy she puts to sleep with her mic skills. And oh yeah, the country dude is a drug dealer as well. The chorus on this track is very unappealing, as it consists of an overly animated Nicki and obnoxious samples from Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back.
He telling me it's real that he love my sex appeal. He said he don't like I'm bony, he wants something he can grab, so I pulled up in the Jag Mayweather with the.
Now although I don't like this song, I do understand its appeal. I feel like this song is specifically for the ladies, while the music video is specifically for the men. Now that's something I can agree on.
Where my fat ass big bitches in the club. Fuck the skinny bitches. Torn my shirt to stop you bleeding.
Nicki started her latest album Pink Friday 2 with possibly one of the worst openers of all time. This track is very strange to me. I don't like a lot of the creative choices. First off, the entire track is filled with annoying baby-like singing vocals that sample from a Billie Eilish song called When the Party's Over. Now I don't know a single thing about Billie Eilish, and I don't plan to. With this being my introduction to her is crazy, as her performance isn't appealing in the slightest. I think the reason this is the case is because her voice has been altered in order to sound like a baby voice, which works well with the concept. Nicki's verses were okay. I don't like the rap flow she provides on her verses, but her singing vocals are good. I believe the synopsis of this song is Nicki letting her significant other know that they're not good for each other. This will lead to him missing out on being around their child. Nicki also expresses that she doesn't like being alone. She ultimately accepts her current status. This track has a pretty good concept. It was just executed poorly in my opinion.
You never got to meet Papa. He sweet proper. He keep mama. Bitches ain't shit and they ain't saying nothing. 100 mother can't tell me.
Okay, there are some elements about this track that I think are good, and some that I think are bad. First off, I really like the instrumental, as it sounds like something that will play while you're journeying through space. That snap snare is incredible too. Another good thing about this track is Nicki's verses. She did a great job flowing on this spacey instrumental. Now let's talk about the cons of this track. First off, the chorus annoys me. The reason why is because of how Nicki delivers it. When she says the word trap, it just sounds really weird to me. It sounds like she's intentionally putting extra emphasis on the word.
I bees in the trap, bees in the trap, I bees in the trap.
Another con on this song is 2 Chainz's verse. His lyrics are perfectly fine, as he comes through with some pretty good metaphors. The problem is his delivery. It sounds like Nicki and 2 Chainz did this song in one take. This is obvious, as 2 Chainz didn't have proper breath control. The last thing that's bad about this song is the bridge where Nicki addresses her haters. She fails to rhyme, which just makes it sound very sloppy in my opinion. When I heard that part, I was literally like, what the hell was that? But in conclusion, this track is definitely below average. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, this track is flat out terrible. Now I'm not against Nicki dropping diss tracks, but I gotta state the obvious. Diss tracks were never her strong point, which is an underwhelming trait that Nicki has. The reason I say this is because she's an incredible rapper that has the ability to provide great flows and punchlines. The things she says on this track against Megan Thee Stallion sounds very high schoolish, as she raps about her being a hoe. She also calls her a liar multiple times without any proof to back it up. But the thing that I'm not understanding is what made this girl crash out so bad. Megan's diss track wasn't that great for this woman to be losing her mind like this. Another thing that I noticed about this track is that the mixing is terrible. Nicki vocals don't blend well with the instrumental, and even if it did, it probably wouldn't help as her animated rap style is all over the place.
Dark like chocolate. I'm about to get up in your ass, bitch, quench. Yeah.
Her delivery is bad as well. I don't like how she recites certain lyrics, as she puts a lot of emphasis on her words. The monologue at the end of this track is also hard to listen to, as it truly does sound like she's on some heavy drugs. She also states that there's going to be a part 2 to this track. Please, for all of our sakes, just stop while you're ahead, because this is one of the worst songs I've heard in a long time.
Well, let's leave that for the second installment.
Step up in the party like my
This song definitely has will.i.am written all over it. It has a poppy sound that's not appealing to my ears. Both Nicki and will.i.am's auto-tune verses are just bad in my opinion, from the lyrics to the overall sound. I did enjoy Nicki's rap verse without auto-tune, but that isn't going to be enough for me to come back to this one. I always commend Nicki for exploring different sounds, but this particular sound doesn't work in my opinion, making it a hard skip on her classic album Pink Friday.
All these hating niggas ain't got natin' on me. Honestly, I gotta stay.
Straight jacket I'm a psycho. With that white belt, why they copy?
The instrumental to this track is horrible. It has so many elements within it that makes it obnoxious and annoying. The sound of the melody is gut-wrenching, and the snare claps are very unpleasant. I honestly can't tell if J Mills, Nicki Minaj, and Gutta Gutta had good or bad verses, as I can't get over the horrible instrumental.
It's the type of, let them lights go, we don't go to fight.
Whatever you say, Mrs. Majesty.
There are a lot of things that I don't like about this song. I think the concept is cool, as Nicki is rapping in the perspective of her being a queen, which was very fitting for her Queen album. She worked hard to achieve her status, and is now basking in her glory. She also talks about how other female rappers can't compete with her. I like Nicki's performance in the first half on this track. The chorus and the instrumental isn't appealing to me at all, and it annoys me to the highest degree. Eminem's performance is very underwhelming. His flow is very pretentious, as he feels like he has to prove himself by rapping fast. The problem with this is that he isn't saying anything lyrically pleasing, which makes his verse very corny.
Man up with the pen, I'll make the motherfucker detonator. Wanna make an acapella, wait, I gotta set a date with the devil and celebrate together. We can renovate and redevelop.
His rap style on this track overall didn't sound good to me whatsoever. Nicki's closing flow was also unappealing as well, which put the nail in the coffin, making this one of her worst songs.
Just the other day I was out in Miami. Got the Lolo on them perks, Lolo on them Zannies.
Nicki's fourth album, Queen, was her worst effort in my opinion. This album was filled with generic tracks that included mediocre performances from Nicki. This is yet another generic track on this album that consists of Nicki flexing her wealth. This subject matter was also tiresome on this album, and the main reason this is the case is because a lot of these songs don't do enough creatively. I've said this countless times in my reviews. I don't have an issue with repetitive subject matter as long as the artist is creative or provides a good performance. Nicki's flow is extremely annoying on this song, as she ends a lot of her lines with the same pronunciation. This song is another one of the many skips on the Queen album, along with being one of the worst tracks on the project.
I know what these niggas like, and it ain't my charm. I ain't stupid, this 250 on.
Now to start off, I don't have an issue with the topic of this song. Nicki is basically telling women don't give up your goods to a man that's broke. I did like the line where Nicki says, there's no such thing as broke and handsome. All in all, Nicki's telling women to not undervalue themselves. But the topic isn't the issue, it's the execution. The instrumental is a very generic trap beat, and Nicki's flow and lyrics are generic as well. Lil Wayne provides an underwhelming performance. The main issue that I have with Wayne's verse is his delivery. It's hard to explain, but it almost sounds like he's trying to mimic new age rappers, which is combined with an overly aggressive delivery. It doesn't work at all, making this track another major skip on Nicki's Queen album.
Can lick it, I can ride it while you slipping and sliding. I can do all them little tricks and keep.
One thing I noticed about Nicki in general is that she relies on classic samples to make her music pop more. I'm not a fan of the execution for the most part when it comes to these tracks. On this track, Nicki raps about how men like freaky girls. She states that she's definitely freaky and knows how to please. The main thing I don't like about this song is the hook. It just seemed very lazy, and it's kinda corny too. Nicki's verses weren't anything special either. Overall, this track is a hard skip, as it has no redeeming qualities.
You wanna F-R-E-A-K-F-R.
Let's go to the beach, eat, let's go get a wave. They say what they gonna say. Have a drink, clink,
This song is all over the place. Now I will commend Nicki for stepping outside of the box for this one. She did a lot of creative things with her vocals, but it all sounds like a mess in my opinion. Just as I stated before, Nicki can be very animated with her vocals, but sometimes she cranks that shit to the max, which greatly annoys me. She opens this track like this, which then leads to her reciting a very upbeat pre-chorus. This then leads to the actual chorus, where she then provides some really good singing vocals, but her good singing vocals are immediately overshadowed by the very obnoxious instrumental. As this track continues to play, everything gets more intense, which led to me getting a headache as there's so much going on. I also feel like all these insane elements kills the message of this song. I believe this track is about uplifting spirits, referring to people as starships, which leads to Nicki stating that they're meant to fly. The only thing this track uplifts me to do is to skip it ferociously.
Now everybody let me hear you say right, right, right. Go spend all your money 'cause the day paid late. And if you a
This song was the beginning stages of Nicki's terrible diss track attempts. Back in the early 2010s, Nicki and legendary rapper Lil' Kim feuded. This beef was forth-telling, as Nicki Minaj is in the same position Lil' Kim was in during this time. Nicki was the new face of female rap, which led to her and her label wanting to make her the dominant force in the genre. This led to subliminal disses from both Nicki and Kim. Nicki made comments about Kim being an old formula, and she's the new prototype. I seriously believe Nicki could have made a historical diss track towards Lil' Kim based on her abilities, but what she did instead is create possibly one of the worst songs and diss tracks in hip-hop history. I love Nicki's unorthodox and animated rap style as it greatly showcases her personality, but she went completely overboard on Stupid Ho. There are so many voice changes and messy flows. Her lyrics are also extremely basic and repetitive. All she did was call Lil' Kim a stupid hoe for the majority of it, which is both underwhelming and lazy. But the worst thing about this song is the instrumental. It has so many unnecessary sounds that don't blend well together. All of these elements makes this Nicki Minaj's worst song in my opinion, as it's unbearable to listen to.
So now